We got a new fashion industry in our world today. Masks. One of my parishioners made me this mask. Thank you, Laurie Morton. It's becoming something of a cottage industry to fashion these masks, and there's kind of a big issue that's coming up in the news about whether or not these masks should be fashionable or not, or whether it's kind of trying to turn something very stark and grave into something a little too trivial. My sister, who lives out in LA, actually had a face mask made that was the lower face of Farrah Fawcett's face. It's kind of creepy to watch her wearing it, but she is in LA, so that's the way they roll out there. We are becoming much more mindful in our choice of wardrobe, in our choice of how we present ourselves as we get dressed in the morning. Thinking not so much in terms of how we look, but in terms of how we are protecting ourselves and protecting others. This new fashion statement, these new masks, are a way of us keeping very mindful of just how frail we really are, just how fragile our mortality is. And we have developed an entire new ritual. Cleansing ourselves, washing our hands, purifying our hands, getting ourselves so clean, and then putting on these masks and maybe gloves in order to clothe ourselves in a way that protects our mortality. We are becoming so much more conscious of the fact that we are, in fact, mortal beings. We are creatures who are subject to the ravages of all sorts of things that threaten our very existence. That's a good thing. It's a good thing that we are being so conscientious. It's a good thing that we're caring about other people. It's important that we are able to recognize and be awakened to the frailty of our mortality. It's good in its own sake. It's good that we are being this aware because it's prudent. But it's also good because it reminds us that we also need to be every bit as deliberate and every bit as mindful about our immortal state and how fragile our soul is. As we cleanse ourselves every morning and dress appropriately to meet a condition where we might be assaulted by this virus, we should also pay a little bit of thought to how we have cleansed ourselves in baptism, and how, after cleansing ourselves, it makes very little sense to simply go out and allow ourselves to become bombarded by the virus, or maybe just to spread that virus to others. We also should be aware that the same is true for our spiritual self. When we have cleansed ourselves in baptism, we should clothe ourselves with blessed immortality. Be deliberate in how we present ourselves, how we guard ourselves and guard others against the contagion of temptation, against the contagion of losing sight of the fact that we were created for immortal life. May our deliberate attention to the details and the fragility of our life that we have adopted in the face of this pandemic, may that also deepen our understanding of the frailty of our spiritual selves, so that we can truly live by the way we choose to order our life each day, according to that prayer that we prayed in the opening prayer. That we who have been given new life in baptism may clothe ourselves, not with masks, but with blessed immortality, to protect ourselves and to protect others for eternal life.